how many hours do you lose during your life and during your days chasing cheap dopamine and eventually not doing anything productive? Let's talk about those situations where you actually lose that time and what can you do in order to stop losing it. Removing cheap dopamine is not easy at all, because you need to identify which are those situations where you are losing your time and spending time and losing as well energy on that cheap dopamine. Let's analyze it. So a way to stop losing time and to structure your life and structure your days and stop losing time on cheap dopamine is to use two phones. One for business and one for your personal life and for your personal stuff. Because when you have two phones, when it comes to having a business phone, it doesn't need to be from your 9-to-5 job or from your daily job. It can also be from your stuff that you use, like the applications and everything you use for your business life. Because then when you have this phone and you treat it as a business phone, you're eventually gonna avoid going into Instagram or like TikTok or these applications and even Facebook, where you're basically losing time and using those applications for just chasing cheap dopamine and watching stuff that it doesn't actually provide any value to your life. It's just like for fun, or like for just not consuming and not putting any effort on doing that in your phone. So basically when you do that, you're gonna avoid losing hours like scrolling down and up on the different content that you see on that app. And then on your personal phone, you can have a cheaper phone where you use it for less stuff, or maybe that is less expensive and it provides less features, because on your personal phone eventually you don't want to use it and lose time with it. Then avoid having an expensive phone as your personal phone. We want to have a business phone which is capable of doing a lot of stuff in order to eventually provide you more benefits. 2, the grayscale mode. On phones actually nowadays you can use them for so many things, but at the same time you can also change the color. And especially on iPhones, you can actually now, if you go here, if you check on this screen, you can actually go into settings and set such that the colors are as you want them. And by doing that, you can choose the range color or range of colors to black and white, because colors are like a perception, and it's like when you see something of color, it kind of attracts you. While if it's black and white and you have that on your personal phone, your brain and your mind will eventually, like, you will look at your phone and like your brain will think like, I don't want to use it. It would help you out on using it less time and spending less time on the phone, scrolling down and like doing bullshit and useless things for your life eventually. So having even also on the business phone, but eventually that's the most important on the personal phone, having this black and white setup. Number 3, create more than consume. This I would define it as like key, because if you create more than consume, if you sell more than buy, if you create something more than using it, for example, if you create an app and then someone else, a group of people use it, that's actually how you will achieve success in your life, but creating more than using, by selling more than buying. And that's actually the key, to be able to create, to change your path and go into the side where you're the creator and you're the one that creates value and the one that creates stuff for other people and for the watchers, for the users, for these buyers. Number 4, not interested. When you go into Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, there's always pictures, and like most of the people or most of the guys in this case, they have pictures of women that are of girls that are half naked or that have less clothes, even if they are with other guys, or they are alone, or they are with other girls, they are with other women. In these situations, you want to train the algorithm such as that you see this type of pictures less often. And how do you do that? There's a button on Instagram especially, but I know also on TikTok, where you select and you say that I'm not interested. Obviously you can do that with any type of pictures that you see on your thread, but by doing that you will eventually train the algorithm such as you don't see these kind of pictures, and then this soft porn you don't see it that often. And number 5, remove TikTok. According to some type of content that you can see on YouTube or Instagram, that rule would also apply. I believe that TikTok only has the bad parts of YouTube and Instagram or other applications. Eventually you only see content that is just you for losing your time and not learning anything valuable, because you learn something valuable in other places. I'm not saying that you learn them on Instagram or like in other applications, because that's not the truth. It's the same kind of bullshit, I would say. But also it's super important that you do that in your phone, which is your personal phone and your business phone. Because obviously if you use these applications, if you use TikTok for business purposes, because maybe you're running ads or you're an Instagrammer and you publish, you're the creator and you publish stuff which eventually will give you a revenue, then it's okay. But in the sense of just using it for fun, there's absolutely no point in using that application. So that was it for this video. Hope you enjoyed this content, and make sure you subscribe to Firmly Talking, and here you find my last upload. Actually, it's not my last upload, but it's the video on my comeback to Spain, to Barcelona, and I talk about how to easy fixes to become more attractive. So make sure you check it out and you click on the bell in order to receive all the notifications, because I upload 2 videos every single week. So that was it. So remember to stay always firmly.